Welcome to YouTube Pedia. Discover the greatest stories from history, science, and beyond. If you're curious about the world, subscribe now and join our journey through knowledge. Let's get started. Charles Babbage, the visionary who dreamed the future of computing. In the grand tapestry of history, few figures stand out as true visionaries who dared to imagine a world far beyond their time. Charles Babbage was one such individual, an enigmatic genius who, in an era dominated by gears and steam, laid the foundation for the digital revolution that would unfold centuries later. His story is one of relentless ambition, groundbreaking ideas, and a battle against the very limitations of his age. A brilliant mind takes shapes. Born on December 26, 1791 in London, Charles Babbage entered a world teetering on the edge of scientific advancement. From an early age, he displayed an insatiable curiosity for numbers and patterns. Unlike many children of his time, young Charles was not content with mere memorization. He wanted to understand the deeper mechanisms governing the universe. His fascination with mathematics would soon become his defining trait. Despite suffering from illness in his childhood, Babbage's intelligence shone through. His wealthy father ensured that he received the best education possible, enrolling him in prestigious schools. But it was his time at Cambridge University that truly set him on the path toward greatness. While studying at Trinity College, he found himself unimpressed by the outdated mathematical teachings of the time. The methods used in Britain lagged behind those of Europe, and Babbage was determined to change that. With his peers John Herschel and George Peacock, he formed the Analytical Society, a group dedicated to modernizing British mathematics. Their goal was to replace the cumbersome Newtonian notation with the superior continental methods of Leibniz. Even at this early stage, Babbage was not just a student, he was a reformer, seeking to reshape the very foundations of academia. The seeds of an idea, the birth of the difference engine. Babbage's true genius began to emerge when he recognized a fundamental problem plaguing his era: human error in calculations. At the time, mathematical tables were essential for navigation, engineering, and science, yet they were riddled with mistakes due to manual computation. What if, Babbage wondered, a machine could perform these calculations automatically and flawlessly? In 1822, he proposed the concept of the difference engine, a mechanical device designed to compute polynomial functions and generate mathematical tables with unmatched precision. This was no mere theoretical exercise. Babbage secured funding from the British government to build a working prototype. The idea was revolutionary, a machine that could think, in a way replacing fallible human labor with the precision of metal and steam. The difference engine was an awe-inspiring concept, but its construction proved daunting. Thousands of intricately designed gears and levers needed to function in perfect harmony. Babbage, ever the perfectionist, continuously refined and modified his designs, which led to mounting costs and government frustration. Despite this, he remained undeterred. The dream of an automated calculator consumed him. A man ahead of his times. As Babbage struggled with the complexities of the difference engine, he became increasingly disillusioned with bureaucracy and the reluctance of society to embrace change. His relationships with colleagues and government officials grew strained. He was a man of boundless intellect, but often lacked the patience for politics. Yet even as his first grand project faced obstacles, his mind raced ahead to even greater possibilities. He began envisioning a far more sophisticated machine, one that would not just compute numbers, but could be programmed to perform any operation imaginable. This idea would eventually lead him to conceive the analytical engine, a device that bore an uncanny resemblance to modern computers. But before we delve into this astonishing leap in thinking, we must understand the struggles, failures, and moments of brilliance that defined Babbage's journey. His relentless pursuit of progress came at a cost, one that left him fighting against both time and the limitations of his era. Charles Babbage, the architect of the computer age. In the annals of history, few minds have dared to push the boundaries of human innovation quite like Charles Babbage. Though his difference engine was an ambitious endeavor that struggled to materialize, his relentless mind was already conceiving something even more groundbreaking: the analytical engine. A device so advanced in its conceptual design that it would not only foreshadow, but define the very principles of modern computing. But the road to innovation is rarely smooth. Babbage would encounter resistance, betrayals, and financial ruin, yet his legacy would endure, shaping the digital revolution that would emerge over a century after his death. Beyond calculation, the birth of the analytical engines. As Babbage worked tirelessly on the difference engine, he began to see its limitations. The machine, though revolutionary, was rigid, built to compute polynomial functions but unable to adapt to new tasks. What if, he wondered, a machine could be designed not just to calculate but to be programmed? What if it could perform any mathematical operation based on a set of instructions rather than a fixed mechanism? This idea led to the conception of the analytical engine in the 1830s, a machine so visionary that it bore striking similarities to modern computers. Unlike anything before it, the analytical engine had a store akin to memory to hold numbers and intermediate results, a mill comparable to a CPU to process calculations, punched cards borrowed from the Jacquard loom to input instructions, allowing reprogrammability, conditional branching, meaning it could make decisions based on prior calculations. This was not just a calculator, it was the blueprint of a general-purpose computer, more than a century ahead of its time. Ada Lovelace, the world's first computer programmer. One of the most remarkable aspects of Babbage's journey was his collaboration with Ada Lovelace, the brilliant daughter of the poet Lord Byron. Fascinated by mathematics, Ada recognized the true potential of the analytical engine, not just as a machine for numbers, but as something that could manipulate symbols, patterns, and even create music. In 1843, Ada translated an article on the analytical engine by an Italian mathematician, but went far beyond mere translation. She added her own detailed notes and insights, including what is now recognized as the first-ever algorithm designed to be executed by a machine. Ada Lovelace envisioned a future where machines could go beyond arithmetic, a vision that would not be realized until the advent of modern computing. While Babbage was focused on hardware, Ada saw the software revolution before anyone else. The world rejects a genius. Despite its brilliance, the analytical engine remained unfinished. Why? Babbage's perfectionism led him to constantly modify his designs, making it nearly impossible to complete a final working model. But more than that, he faced financial struggles and political resistance. The British government, having lost patience after years of funding the difference engine, refused to back his new machine. Society simply wasn't ready to grasp the significance of what Babbage was building. He was proposing a device that would not be practically understood for over a century. Even his closest peers found his work too radical, too advanced. The world, it seemed, would rather fund practical inventions, railroads, telegraphs, than invest in a machine that seemed more like a dream than reality. Frustrated and bitter, Babbage withdrew from public life. He spent his later years refining his designs, writing about the failures of government funding, and waging a personal war against street musicians whom he found insufferable distractions to his work. The world had turned its back on him, but time would prove him right. A legacy reborn, the father of the computers. Charles Babbage died in 1871, never seeing his analytical engine fully realized. But history has a way of resurrecting the ideas of visionaries. A century later, as Alan Turing laid the foundations of modern computing, Babbage's concepts resurfaced. Memory, processing units, programmable instructions, all elements he had foreseen were now being implemented in electronic computers. Today, Babbage is rightly recognized as the father of the computer. Though he never built a functioning analytical engine, his blueprints were so precise that in 1991, a working model was constructed by the Science Museum in London, proving that his machine would have worked if only the technology of his time had caught up with his mind. His story serves as a testament to human ingenuity, persistence, and the power of ideas that are simply ahead of their time. The future Babbage envisioned is our present. As you watch this video on a computer, tablet, or smartphone, remember, every modern device owes its existence to the ideas of a man long forgotten in his own lifetime. Charles Babbage's analytical engine was more than a machine, it was a vision of the future, a whisper of the digital revolution that was yet to come. And today, we live in the very world he imagined nearly 2 centuries ago. If you found this journey into history fascinating, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to YouTube Pedia. Let's keep uncovering the hidden stories of the minds that shaped our world.